Why would a Jewish non-profit, devoted to lending money without interest, become the guardian of a century of communal memory? The answer explains not only the books of Reminiscence, but the history of Jewish San Antonio itself. The two original books of Reminiscence were created by trustee Abraham Serif in 1937. Together, they contain nearly 400 pages chronicling the lives, families, institutions, and milestones of our community, from a devotional honoring Rabbi Shlomo Solomon, born in 1855, through the closing pages of the 20th century. At first glance, they appear to be biographies. There's something much larger. They are the accumulated civic memory of Jewish San Antonio. Every page a devotion to a moment in time that had meaning to the community.
Weddings, births, b'nai mitzvah, anniversaries, businesses, congregations, volunteer organizations, acts of quiet kindness, acts of great valor, and, of course, the passing of loved ones. May their memory be a blessing.
Abraham Serif himself understood memory. Born in Russia, he came first to Eagle Pass and eventually to San Antonio, where he and Sarah built a life deeply woven into the city's Jewish community. His artistic temperament and poetic spirit became legendary among those who knew him. When the Hebrew Free Loan Association celebrated its 13th annual trustee dinner, Serif chose that occasion to present these volumes through Rabbi David Tamarkin as a bar mitzvah gift to the association. That choice was deliberate. Why not present them to a synagogue? Why not to a historical society? Why not to some other Jewish institution? Because the Hebrew Free Loan Association occupies a unique place in the civic life of our community. Across generations, San Antonio Jews built institutions for worship, charity, education, Zionism, recreation, and remembrance. Each reflected the needs of its time and its constituents. The Hebrew Free Loan Association became something different. It stands quietly at the intersection of philanthropy, commerce, immigration, and mutual responsibility. Gemilut Kasadim, the place where families helped families build new lives. From the merchants and pioneers of the 19th century through the Rotmans, Camruses, Schoenfelds, Wechslers, Spectors, and hundreds of others whose names appear throughout these pages. The association's mission has remained remarkably constant while the city around it transformed. Its history is not measured by buildings erected or campaigns won. It is measured by lives quietly strengthened. The books of Reminiscence therefore belong here. They are not simply a collection of biographies. They are the accumulated memory of the very community the Hebrew Free Loan Association has served for more than a century. They are not an epitaph. They are an invitation. An invitation to the youngest at the Seder, the one who does not yet know enough to ask.
Look around this room. These are your people. They built hospitals and businesses. They taught children. They lent money without interest. They buried the dead. They celebrated weddings. They argued politics. They baked challah. They raised families and they left their fingerprints all over San Antonio. You belong to the story now. It is yours. And someday, it will be your story that you hand to the next generation.
Perhaps that is why these books resonate so deeply with the themes of the High Holy Days. The days of awe, The Moxa tells us that on Rosh Hashanah the book is opened. This cosmic ledger speaks for itself because it contains an indelible record of every person's deeds, missteps, and achievements from the past year. Our book is opened as well, but it cannot speak for itself. One asks, "What have you done with the life entrusted to you?" The other asks, "What inheritance will you leave to those who follow?" Both are acts of remembrance, not as an exercise in nostalgia, but as an obligation to shape the future. Civilizations only survive because every generation leaves enough memory for its children to recognize themselves in the story. I suspect Abraham Seraph understood that instinctively when he began these volumes in 1937. He was not merely compiling biographies. He was answering one of the oldest Jewish questions. When our grandchildren ask who we were, what shall we place into their hands? The books are our answer, but not the 50-pound steel-clad volumes. The Hebrew Free Loan Association has scanned each page and built a site on the internet where the books are finally accessible to the community. And now the Book of Reminiscence 2, the next century, will be our generation's opportunity to add to the story. The book is open. History is calling.